Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/SorgatronMedia. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the AwesomeCast. We are back in the studio. Rob's back on Skype. Chachi's back on the couch. It's great to be back in the studio where we have a little bit of control over things a little bit. Of course, with me, as usual, is my trusty sidekick, Rob De La Creta. How you doing? Or am I your sidekick? I can't remember how that goes.
I think it's a loving relationship in which we are each other's sidekicks.
So we're more like the Wonder Twins.
No, you should
You're my broadcasting life partner.
You guys are partners in crime. There's no...
Partners in crime.
Well, in this case...
so overplayed, though.
Well, you're not sidekicks because you're partners.
Partners in awesome?
Partners in
awesome. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
All right.
But speaking of crime, I should mention, I'm probably going to be coughing a little bit, and you're going to hear me clearing my throat a lot because... Funny story. So I was making fireballs earlier today.
You're the only one that can start a show with that. So I was making fireballs today at work.
I'm going to tell you kids about an awesome little science experiment you can do that I do not condone and that no one should ever do. So, you know those air duster things? Those, like, canned air things?
Oh, I love where this is going.
Oh, man. I'm making fireballs at work.
A container to hold some water. You turn the duster upside down so the frozen stuff comes out, and you spray that into the water. You like hold it above the water a little bit, otherwise the tip will freeze into a block of ice. But so you hold it above the water a little bit, and you spray the frozen stuff on it, and eventually it'll create a little bit of ice that kind of boils in the water, and then hold a flame over that, and you'll create a gigantic, flaming, hilarious fireball. If you do this, do not breathe in at all.
Jeez, man.
Because, I was doing this, and I've done this before, and it wasn't that bad, but I did it today, and I incidentally set half of a desk on fire right next to a $30,000 machine. So, bad situation gone terribly wrong. So when you need to blow out a fire, what you have to do first is inhale, and I wasn't aware that the gas cloud that this thing creates is like 4 times the size of the flame. So I breathed in like fire, and then ran out of the room to get water and ran back in to see somebody else try and do the exact same thing, which resulted in 2 people standing around a fire trying to cough it out.
Wow, you just gave a reason for all the safety videos that I do.
Man.
Yeah, so do not do that, and if you do that, you're a complete moron. Just don't breathe it in. It's really cool. Just
wait. Are you telling me not to attempt to make the fireball or not to inhale the fumes?
I'm saying that anyone who does it, including me, is a complete idiot if they were to do it. And if they were to do it and they choose to be an idiot, they should not breathe in the fumes or they'll be a dead idiot.
Oh, okay. Because you realize that if I don't have any meetings after work tomorrow, I'm completely doing this.
I'm scheduling you for a meeting tomorrow. Well, now that we're done with our safety tip, our guest joining us this week, he's, I guess you're the proprietor of 4orchestra.com, I think we can call you. Walt Ribeiro, how you doing?
Hey, man, what's up? Yeah, that's a good title. I'm still trying to take in the whole fireball story. I think that's pretty amazing.
That's not what you expected coming onto a tech show, huh?
No, it's not, but it's better than talking about, some of the, it's better than talking about most tech stuff that people talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a nice break from, reality for a minute,
Oh, it was reality. I felt the reality inside my body.
Fantastic. Well, I guess first, let's get into 4orchestra.com, a pretty cool concept. Tell everybody what it's about for those that haven't checked it out yet.
Oh, so basically we take pop songs and we arrange them for orchestra. So we've done everything from Lady Gaga to Pearl Jam to Radiohead to Miley Cyrus. We've done, some of your favorites like the Backstreet Boys and Justin Bieber.
Oh, excellent. Chachi will be pleased.
I am super pleased.
No, so, we've taken all of their songs, like major repertoire, and we've turned them into, full 120-piece orchestrations. And, we sell the sheet music. It's available on iTunes and Amazon. People are performing them, so it's a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Now these are, for, pretty much like...
Let me just put on headphones.
Okay. Oh, wait, he left.
Yeah, we're here.
Poof, he's gone.
No, we didn't join us for the pre-show. We've had a horrendous time trying to get Walt on. Skype is not cooperating with us tonight. That's why he's in this little window back here. That's Google Chat, so I want to give a shout for them for actually working where Skype won't on the Mac. So thankfully I figured out how to crop a shot so he looks halfway decent there. There you go. Now you look like a musician.
If there's any time that you should have troubleshooting and that you know how to fix it, it's during a tech show.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. This seems to be where we have the most problem, it seems. Wrestling show, smooth, I'm telling you. Back to it. All right, so how are you able to do all these covers in orchestral fashion? I mean, especially today where we're talking about, especially on this show, rights management, fair use, and everything. Are you guys going out and license these from everybody, or is there some kind of like cover provision?
So there's a company that's called Harry Fox that I do all of my publishing and my arranging through. And, the way that it works is that when I make an arrangement, I have to give 9.1 cents, give or take about 9 cents per arrangement, per sale goes to them. So if I sell a song for $1 on iTunes, then Lady Gaga gets 9 cents for every dollar that I make, which is fine with me because she created it, so she should be compensated for it too. So that's how the licensing works. And every couple of years, they renegotiate the contracts, but that's the basis of the of the foundation of the licensing of it. So it's all legit, but.
Nice. That now per sale, that sounds like really low, especially considering what we hear about the music industry.
Right. So there's different licenses. There's you can get the license to put the music on a piece of film. You can get the license to get the arrangement in film is different than the license to sell the arrangement on iTunes, which is different than the license to print the sheet music, which is different than the license to have it play on a card when you open it up and the Hallmark card starts playing music. Like those are all different licenses. So but I generally concentrate on the Harry Fox mechanical license.
Excellent.
Without getting too complicated.
Excellent. And of course, we were talking about this a little bit before the show too. I think Rob and I have both met you first back at, I think it was Podcamp Pittsburgh 3, if I recall.
Yep.
You were doing a session on I can't remember the title, but it was about how you just kind of I guess you could say forsake everything and just went for your dream and went independent and with your website and everything. Can you kind of give us the Cliff Notes version of how that goes?
Yeah. Okay. So as you know from back in Podcamp Pittsburgh 3, I used to teach the music show. I had it was syndicated. I still am a YouTuber, so I was getting paid for that. I had my show on Revision3. I was on the Ustream partner program. I was doing a lot of different stuff. And so what happened is that when the economy started going down, then people started dropping their paid partners. So Ustream had to drop people. I was one of them. Rev3 had to drop a couple channels. I was one of them. I'm sure it was like a huge story a couple years ago when they had to drop a bunch of their channels. So all this stuff started happening, and then I was obviously making less money, and then also the combination that all I wanted to do was just teach music. Mm-hmm. That was it. Mm-hmm. So when I was becoming more of a video editor and less of a music educator, then that's when it stopped being fun to me. It was at the point where I was editing video 12 hours a day. So I was like, you know what? I don't really want to do this show anymore. Things are dropping. I'm so passionate about the orchestra. That's all I really care about. That's actually what I went to school for. So then that's when I kind of said to myself, well, there's no time better than the present than just to jump ship and then try and start something new. So that's what I did, and then, so that's what I do now. I've been doing it for about a year and a half now.
Excellent. So how did that transition go? From the show to the orchestra thing.
So until recently, maybe like 4 months ago or so, the transition happened slowly. I started, doing less and less YouTube videos, doing more and more blog posts for orchestra, doing more arrangements. I started, slowly notifying my community that if you're on the mailing list for my music show, I'm going to now only talk about my orchestrations. There was all this like little stuff here and there, but for the most part, it's went kind of smoothly. I noticed that they want to play guitar and that they're really passionate about maybe learning guitar, that they don't want to be, I guess, kind of spammed or switched onto the music arrangement stuff. But most of them have been extremely supportive. So that's been cool because I don't know. I uploaded a lot of video tutorials for them to learn from. So I think that more so than just get their music lesson. I think that they were really kind of becoming my friend. So they didn't really mind so much about hearing about the orchestrations. They just kind of wanted to keep on hearing back from me. At least I feel like that's what it was, because it was a tight community, and it still is.
Excellent. Is there you're a guy that I know is really big at integrating social media and such. I know music is a huge thing out there. There's definitely a big, you can find your niches in there. How is it for like this orchestral? Well, what are you getting more? I guess would be the question. People coming from the orchestral appreciation, or people coming from the Pearl Jam. I wonder how that's going to sound. Maybe the people that are into the Metallica S&M stuff.
Absolutely, number two. Like almost like 100% of my people are not classical people, which is fine. It's I don't really target to a classical audience anyway. So if you're a huge Pearl Jam fan and you hear that someone arranged Even Flow for orchestra, you would be crazy about it. It's something new, it's something fresh. So it's easier to convert the Pearl Jam people onto the orchestrations than it is to convert the people who love Beethoven to start listening to Pearl Jam.
Well, that's something I know. Chachi, you and I have attended here when they've come to Pittsburgh. The video games live that's come around. It seems like kind of the same crossover effect.
Right. It's people that normally wouldn't be interested in going to see an orchestra live, going out to see an orchestra live because it's something else that they're a big fan of, and that's the scores from video games. Yeah,
and we see some people there like older folks that I think like have their season pass to the orchestra that seem to be at those too. And it was a really cool to see. And again, I think what you said, like 80% are coming from the mainstream Pearl Jam fans and such. It seemed like the same thing on the video game side. But it was,
Video Games Live is an awesome thing. That was actually started by Tommy Tallarico.
Yeah.
He was big on G4. I don't know if you guys watched G4.
Yeah, he was on Underground.
Walt, we're nerds.
Yeah, we were highly aware of that.
Yes, we watched G4.
There's a television show called there's a television channel that used to be called Tech TV. You guys should check it out.
They now are on 3 different online networks, but other than that, I think it was Electric Playground, if I recall. Yeah, that was a great show, and I always loved it because he was somebody that was like, oh, I work in the business and talked about the music. He would always bring that angle on it. And I think they still do shows. I don't know if he's particularly involved, but I know the other guy from that. I think they do some programming for Canada because they still have like a G4 Tech TV up there. I don't know how that happened.
It was the other guy. It was like kind of like the dirty blonde hair dude, right? I mean, he wasn't blonde. Maybe he was blonde. I don't know, but it was Tommy. He was the dark haired dude. And then it was the other guy with the blonde hair or something. I mean, it wasn't, whatever.
He was the straight man of the show, I remember. Excellent. Well, excellent. Hey, Walt. I hope everybody gets.
By the way, I've never referenced a dude as having dirty blonde hair.
This is an unusual thing that you picked. Now, you moved to New York within the past year or so, right?
Yeah, I've been in Manhattan for almost as soon as I'm trying to think. I've been there since for about 2 years now. So. I was here for the first maybe 8 months or so that I was here. I was teaching the music lesson show, and then for the next year and a half, I was doing full orchestra.
How's that transition? Because I know you used to live in Philadelphia, and we've been visiting New York City here and there, and always wondered about if we could move from Pittsburgh to there and really kind of handle it.
Yeah, I'm still laughing about how I said dirty blonde hair. So what you're asking about the transition from Pittsburgh to Manhattan?
Yeah,
if that would be possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I was living in Philadelphia at the time when I first started the show about 3 years ago, and the reason why I moved up to Manhattan is because obviously I was making good money from doing the show and syndicating it and sponsors and the whole thing. So I moved from Philly to Manhattan, but the reason why I moved to Manhattan, it wasn't just because I could. It was because most of my sponsors were in Manhattan too. So it was all the Gibsons and all those guys. They were all mainly based around this geographic location, whether it was Boston or here or Philadelphia. So I knew I wanted to be in kind of the center of it. And then I was going to Manhattan about three times a week, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and the price that I was paying for transportation and hotels and staying over and the whole thing was just doing a lot for me financially and physically on my body. So it just made sense for me to just live up here. And so then when you start living in a big city, you start obviously spending more money because everything's more expensive, but you start making more money because everything is within a jump, hop, skip from you. I mean, I'm 15 blocks. I was at that point, 15, 20 blocks away from all my, sponsors and all the major expos and all the trade shows and the whole thing. So when you start getting into that mentality, not only is the move from Philly to Manhattan possible or Pittsburgh to Manhattan possible, but it's absolutely doable and it's almost vital for the success of for a company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's been a debate we've had for a long time here because we often have a lot of local entrepreneurs here in Pittsburgh, and that's been the debate of some guys out there are like, well, you need to get the heck out of Pittsburgh, you need to go to California, you got to go to New York if you expect to make it. But kind of that argument of there's a really good community here. I guess it really depends on you doing, especially you dealing with sponsors the way you did for your projects. That makes a lot more sense for you for a move like that. And it's not like Philly's that far away from New York either.
Yeah, people do it out of Pittsburgh, all the time. I mean, you live in Idaho and still make it work. Mm-hmm. You just have to get out of your computer and go to the trade shows, go to the meetings, mm-hmm. Fly across the country, make it happen. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I think, where you're based. It matters where you go, because then the opposite's true too. There's people who live in Manhattan and they never go out and they never do anything. Well, then why are they living in Manhattan? Why not just go live in Idaho? So
awesome. Well, thanks, Walt. I hope stick around here. We're going to be talking about a little bit of the news from the week. Please bring up anything that's kind of struck you. Is there any news from the week that in the tech in every entertainment and everything that's kind of struck you right off the bat?
No. So I just read today about a couple new albums of people that are coming out. I always try and do research like that every day. Mm-hmm. Is I try and find out what's the number one Billboard hit, what's the what's going viral, what music video is going viral on YouTube. And so today I was looking at all of the albums that are coming out in the next year, and some everyone from U2 to No Doubt to Michelle Branch to all these big names are coming out with albums in the next couple months. So that was, I guess, the big news entertainment thing that I was kind of tuned into today.
Here's something for you, and maybe as a musician you have a bit of opinion on this. I know recently, I think we've discussed briefly on the show, I don't know if we got too into it, but Gorillaz came out with an album on Christmas done completely with iPad instruments. Have you been looking at any of that kind of stuff? You have any thoughts on this whole digital tablet, iPhones, iPad musicians going on out there right now?
I think that the whole tablet thing is awesome. I used to think that it was a little bit too overhyped, but now I'm starting to see it as kind of like, I don't think that touch is going to overtake like the actual like keyboards thing, but I think that from a musical instrument level of the interaction from the audience with their smartphones and the tablet and living in the cloud, I think that it's like the coolest thing ever. And I love the Gorillaz for kind of like breaking down kind of like that barrier and showing that the tablet can be like a real instrument and a real production house. But like arranging something like that for an orchestra or something would be no different whether it was produced on a tablet or on a laptop or on a huge desktop. I mean, it's all the same product to me. So it doesn't really affect me so much, but I think that the concept of it is actually really, really cool.
Excellent. Well, first I want to get into, this is something we were talking about before the show too. I know Chachi's pretty excited about it, but there's a Pac-Man reality show coming to TV.
Yes!
There he is.
Yes!
Chachi, did you read up on this?
Yeah, basically, it'll be a reality show where people go in and they get dropped in a Pac-Man maze. That's all the details they've released right now, but honestly, that's all I need to hear. If some TV show wants to take me and drop me in a giant Pac-Man maze and have me run from Ghost while chasing dots, I'm there. I am there.
The first thing we thought of was that scene from Club Dread.
Yeah, Broken Lizard's Club Dread. And I thought it was a great idea there. Like, I honestly don't know what's taken people so long to do something like this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's somebody real. It's not some fly-by-night company.
No.
It's, according to this article here at oneup.com.
It's Merv Griffin.
The show is envisioned as a big, crazy wipeout type event with a lot of energy, said Merv Griffin's president of TV, Roy Bank. The idea we have is to take Pac-Man and bring it to life, to bring what is essentially the world's biggest game of tag to television. That's amazing.
I'm in.
That's amazing.
Now, do you guys remember, because you're big like G4 fans, do you remember watching G4 and hearing about the guy who made the perfect Pac-Man score? Like, he beat Pac-Man perfectly.
Yeah,
I think a huge story.
That was a big story, like 5 years ago or something, right?
It was it was. I guess it was maybe like 8 years ago or so, but it was the biggest story ever.
Well,
so I just did a search for him. His name's Billy Mitchell.
Yes. That guy, along with one other guy, keep battling back and forth for the high score of Donkey Kong.
King of Kong.
Yeah,
the movie King of Kong.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
They did a documentary on it. It's called The King of Kong.
I don't know if it still is. It was on Netflix streaming. If you have
I believe it still is.
Okay.
His side business, Billy Mitchell, because video games being the champion at a video game doesn't really pay that well. He owns a hot sauce / barbecue sauce company in Florida.
What's funny is that one of the pictures that I just found was him standing in front of standing in front of hot sauce.
Yeah, that's his stuff.
Make sense of it.
But yeah, essentially in King of Kong, it's them, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
I want to try to bring it up.
Okay,
go ahead.
But it's based on two main characters, Billy Mitchell and his main competitor. Mm-hmm. It follows his competitor's journey through challenging him for the high score, beating his high score, and then Billy Mitchell basically effing him and releasing a videotape of Billy Mitchell beating his old high score, therefore beating this guy's score. So
how the hell would you ever know this? These little...
I watched the movie.
Oh, we watched it. We're aware of it. They actually played in the past year on G4.
Amazing.
It's been on G4 recently. Here it is. The full
know
title
his
is
name, to know the hot sauce, to know just to know the whole plot. It just
Yeah, I know. I've watched it a couple of times.
unbelievable.
He probably watches it as much as he does Hacker. The entire title is The King of Kong: A Fistful of Quarters.
But an update to the movie though, because I did research. No, I was curious.
Yeah. I think I've heard something recently about this.
Billy Mitchell's competitor actually has the high score for Donkey Kong now. So Billy Mitchell is no longer the King of Kong.
I believe the challenger is Steve Wiebe.
Weeby.
Weeby?
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Steve.
the best name ever
I know,
for his
it's-
position.
It's called Weibe. That's how it's spelled. It's like
Weeb.
Wiebe.
yeah, it's pronounced Weeby or Weeb.
Weeby. It's unfortunate.
Fantastic.
Stevie Weeby.
I mean, it's a really boring.
No, yeah, it's a documentary.
Yeah,
it's a straight up
It's
documentary.
a really boring documentary unless you're into classic arcade video games. That, and if you want to stare at a mullet for an hour and a half,
Yeah.
this is the place to be.
Let's see. This was made. This video was released in. Let's see if I come up here. It wasn't too long ago, and the mullet is still alive. 2007. This was released.
Yeah, he
Full on mullet.
still has the mullet. It is perfectly cared for. What's that website called? Galaxy Scores?
I'm not. I don't know. But yeah, they get serious about this. There's like judging and everything. It's like Guinness. Actually, wasn't Guinness a part of it?
Yeah, they were.
Guinness World Records.
It's Twin Galaxies. You can go to the website at www.twingalaxies.com, and they have complete, full-on list of who holds the high score in what game.
Fantastic. I think that's Weeby there on the video for you guys on the video chat. Tremendous. Yeah, it's a piece of history. It's a piece of history. So, let's see what else we got here. Phones were a big thing this week. A little bit of everything. I don't know where do we want to start. We want to talk about why we're not switching to Sprint or T-Mobile UK.
Yeah, we should talk about that because it's funny.
It is funny. It is funny.
So yeah, Sprint is. They are. I don't know if they for a while they were like head of the game for rolling out 4G, but I don't know if they're at this point. Everybody only has fictional 4G. I don't even know if Sprint has legitimate 4G.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, what they've done is if you have a 3G phone and you renew your contract or get a new 3G phone, you will be paying a $10 premium data charge for 3G. Basically, you're getting penalized for not buying a 4G device.
Wow.
Wow, that's one way to do it. But it brings them up the same as 4G now, right? In price. Because I think they were already...
Yeah. It is exactly what you would pay if you were on 4G. So they're making it so everybody's paying the same thing, but it's just the premium data charge. Even though the data that you're getting isn't premium compared to 4G. Yeah.
Wow.
How about... Yeah. And they hit it in a press release titled "Smartphones Drive Wireless Data Explosion." It wasn't titled "We're shiesty bastards who are snaking money from people who don't want to update their devices."
Wait, so are you better off buying the 4G device? Like, I mean, over 2 years, maybe you'll spend an extra, like that. The 4G device probably costs an extra $100 than the 3G device, so you're probably better off just buying the 4G device, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only way that
like
this
$10
doesn't
a month
make
over
sense,
2 years will cost $240.
Yeah. The only way this doesn't make sense is if they start changing the data caps on 4G plans, which is what people kind of expect, because numbers also came out today saying that video is currently 40% of mobile broadband usage.
Jeez.
And 4G is built to handle video. So they're going to be taking in a lot more video. So people kind of expect the caps on 4G to be a bit more strict than they are on 3G. And they're already a pain in the butt on 3G.
See, I
So if
have
that's
an
the
unlimited
case,
cap
that's a
on
take.
my iPhone because I was grandfathered from like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, me too.
I don't think I will ever I mean, like, I don't think I'm ever going to give up on it, because if I had a, 300 megabyte cap, I mean, what good's that? So, like the whole like net neutrality thing and, everything that's happening, I kind of just want my unlimited data plan. Like that, so for example, like this story right here, it was kind of stinks,
I like this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem we're seeing is like we're seeing the speeds increase, which is amazing, even if they are kind of lying about what the technology is in their marketing at least. But what are those speeds worth? Is like, great, I can get my email so quick, but I can only download my email without hitting my ceiling. So.
While we're talking about phones, I wanted to bring something up that's been driving me nuts over the last day. So there's this thing floating around Facebook and Twitter. I just want a free iPhone or iPad, and it's a link and a worm.
Yeah.
And since I have several Twitter accounts on all of my devices, would you idiots please stop clicking the link, because I'm tired of deleting them. Seriously, you're not going to win a free iPhone or a free iPad. Knock it off.
Are you sure?
I'm sick of it.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Trust me.
But they did. Why can't I?
Can we talk about Target?
Like, no kidding. I've gotten 7 of them in the last day, and I just got one more. Come on.
So I got a new G2. I got
What?
the G2.
He got the G2, the T-Mobile G2.
Oh yeah, you got the. I felt the G2. It's pretty. I'm kind of waiting for that scissor switch.
You know what? Your phone.
It's not going to. I'm telling you.
Give me your phone, because I just realized I have this flip cam in my pocket, because I'm like, this phone feels heavy.
You could catch a small baby in the gap that thing creates when you open it up.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we got the good close camera here. First of all, this phone, because I thought it felt kind of heavy, it feels the weight of a flip cam.
All right, but
okay.
I want my phone to have weight.
That's fine, I get that. Now, this is the problem I saw with it. Let me hold this up to the camera here. See how far up that goes? That little hinge there? I'm glad. I told him, it's a good thing he has the insurance plan on that, because that's going to go.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean,
you been?
I pride myself on I've been an industrial designer for a little while, and I build stuff for a living. I would never make anything like that, because it's a failure point.
I'm not discounting. I'm sure it's a tremendous phone, but I think that's just.
I'm sure it's a great phone, but design-wise, they are asking.
Don't get your
for
finger caught in
warranty.
there.
All right, yes, here. I will give that to you. It does have some design flaws.
Mm-hmm.
But like every electronic device, it has a design flaw.
But that's a blatant design flaw is the issue.
Yeah, that's one I'm surprised HTC would make.
And actually, in all honesty, at this point, I don't think that, number one, I'm going to be using that hinge a lot.
You're converting to touch anyways.
The modified keyboard on this blows.
Wait, which model are... Because I can't see the video. Can I just do a search for it really quick?
It's a T-Mobile G2.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
It's the one they've been advertising lately, I think.
It's the... Yeah. So, the old keyboard on the G1 was, if I remember correctly, 5 rows.
Mm-hmm.
It had its own line for the numbers, like a normal keypad does. And on this one, they condensed it down to 4. There's less spacing, and the number line doesn't have its own line. It's shared with the top line of the keyboard. Which means when I'm sending text messages to update someone on a score, I'm putting in QW because I keep forgetting to hit the Alt button to bring up the numbers.
So really what they should have done with the G2 is ripped off the back of the scissor and just stuck with the touchscreen.
Right.
Okay.
You're right. 100%.
All right, cool.
I mean, other than that, it's a great phone. It's nice and quick. It does everything that the iDevices do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the picture and I still... Okay, I think I get it. Okay, never mind. Okay, I see it now.
All right. Well,
no, like, I didn't understand how it was like scissoring, like how it was like opening, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just the way, like...
Yeah.
Usually you get kind of a slide to the keyboard, like I think your G1 had. This thing actually, it feels almost like the old sidekicks, how they kind of flipped out. but it's like
which was terrible.
Which was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
you
know
know, for the first week, you're like, look at this. You flipped it out.
Yeah, and then it broke because I flipped it too much.
Because all you do was flipping it.
Well, it was set up nicely. I have a thing for fancy flipping phones. Okay, I had a Nokia that had a button on the side of it that when you push the button, the phone flipped open.
That's sweet.
I love that.
It's like a switchblade knife. It's nice.
Right. And I broke that because you know.
And you got it used too.
Yeah. No, I bought that brand new.
Oh, was it?
The Nokia was brand new. Yeah.
Wow.
The Sidekick I bought the first one used, then I upgraded to a new one, and I broke both the hinges on this.
You don't have a good track record with phones.
Well, now I do because I stopped playing with the hinges on them. But
you have a bad track record with phones that possess a design flaw.
So I like no hinges on my devices.
Yeah, no hinges.
You know, I heard about you'll like this. I was listening to MacBreak today, and they were talking about the lick test. About there is maybe a literal lick test in Apple computers. That's you take a device, and if you were to lick it, is there a place for your tongue to get stuck on?
I'm not running that test on my phone.
Yeah, I think. Well, then we're going to see you with your tongue stuck in that hinge,
right?
Yeah. But I thought that was really interesting. That I don't know if this was verified information or speculation or anything. But that you think about the design of something like this or the iPad or something, you could lick it.
Well, you know why? Yeah. You know why they do that?
Huh?
They know that children are going to get their hands on these devices. As he puts his iPhone in his mouth.
Yeah,
I'm thinking I don't need to put my iPhone in my mouth because I wouldn't want to get saliva on it because I like it very much.
Exactly. But yeah, that's what they're doing.
It's okay. Mine's in a case. Mine has a raincoat.
I can try really hard to get stuck. I can try really hard to get something stuck in my iPhone. I don't think it's going to work.
Still kind of
take that for what you will.
It still kind of sounds dirty.
Tremendous. This entire conversation has just gone bad. Let's move on.
Moving on. Other groups that are fantastic with their data plans. T-Mobile UK cuts fair use allowances to 500 megabytes.
LOL.
Apparently for everybody. This is something they were supposed to implement, I think, next month, if I remember the article. But yeah, across the board. For everybody, limiting you to 500 megabytes, and I think they were going to throttle you after that.
I don't even know what to How did they broke reality? I'm sorry, I can't.
He can't register what he just heard.
Yeah, I mean, my iPhone. Okay, say you have an iPhone. My average usage. Maybe 1.7 gigs a month, 1.7 gigs. So that's over 3 times the limit on T-Mobile UK. I can't say anything useful about it because it's so dumb.
I'm fairly certain they've reneged this based on the massive backlash that obviously something like this would have given them. But that's tremendous.
You like to think that big companies like this, there's actually somebody running the company, and then they do something like this, and you realize that nobody's actually running the company. It's just a dartboard with option.
See what
I think a lot of companies are run like that. Honestly, yeah. I think my board of directors at work do that.
Yeah.
I think they have a giant dartboard.
Well, there's that whole. I've read lots of books about why is it like steering a large company is like steering a massive freight liner, whereas a small company can make quick moves as they need,
So,
what was that?
Let's see if this shows up. I would be done in terms of the data plan if this shows up for you. I'm not sure if it will. But I send 2.1 gigabytes and I receive 51 gigabytes a month. And that's just for the past 12 days.
Is that no? That can't be no. I think that's since you've had your phone.
No.
Yeah,
that's in the settings, right?
What are you? Unless you're sending and receiving Linux ISOs, that's kind of impossible to achieve.
There's everything.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure for a second I thought you had the fabled white iPhone 4.
No. Because of the screen. No.
Yeah. I saw the white.
But no, I mean, I receive, but I mean, I'm watching videos. I'm trying to listen to, different like orchestra arrangements. I'm, Twittering, Facebooking, and I'm constantly trying to create content, because the more content that I create, then arguably the more people find me. So I'm constantly trying to just do stuff. So I use so much data. I mean, people even tell me that it's insane, but
Well, listen, I don't use.
But
as
I
much...
have the unlimited data plans like that. I mean, if I had these caps, if I had a 300 megabyte cap, I would go out of business probably.
I just did some quick math. Since you have a 3G, I presume that's a 3GS.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. I if I'm right, I think that's like your lifetime what you've downloaded to that phone, and the breakdown of how long that's been out. You're around 2 to 3 gigabytes a month, so you're up there and you're beating any of these guys' caps. Verizon, Sprint. Is Sprint's at 2 gigabytes, or no? They have an unlimited thing too. I think they have an option or something. I don't know why I'm looking at Chachi.
What is it? Well, I know Verizon's unlimited is now it's like 2 gigs or 5 gigs. I think it's 5 gigs is their unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm checking T-Mobile's right now.
Speaking of the white iPhone, I don't know if you guys heard, but because we all really care a whole lot, next month, February, Walmart's inventory system shows a white iPhone. Just saying.
But we've seen this before. There's probably been a white iPhone on Amazon this whole time. But I guess
it's actually the first time we've seen it in inventory, oddly enough.
I'd be afraid to buy a white iPhone. If it weren't like a real retailer, just because like when you buy things off, I think like the black market, it kind of gets really sketchy, especially for an iPhone.
Definitely.
And while we're on the topic of Apple, we may as well cover the big news, which wasn't in the delicious. I was kind of surprised.
I kind of didn't want to. You go ahead. I didn't want to get into it, but there's actually. Well, go ahead. I have something to add to this.
So basically, the cliff notes on the situation. Everybody made a big deal about Steve Jobs is taking another medical leave, and he's taking a medical leave, and the chief a leave made of metal, a medical leaf. I can't. Sorry.
Steve Jobs is sick, and he's taking a leave from Apple. He asked the board of directors. Now, if you want more information on this, 2 angles. Today, Tech News Today had a really good talk with Dr. Mom from their chat room yesterday on the Monday show of this week, where they talked about what pancreatic cancer I think everybody said that he has, and that process and the speculations from the weight loss and everything as far as that goes, so people understand what it could be and why he might be leaving. It's pure speculation, but just an understanding of the disease that he's been battling. Now today on MacBreak Weekly, they were talking about the company ramifications of him leaving in general, not speculating on the health. And that's from people that know more than us on either of those topics, I think.
I think the important thing to understand about it, because basic gist, Steve Jobs is taking a medical leave. Tim Cook, chief operating officer, who's been doing all the earnings reports, he was the big reveal guy for Verizon. He will be coming back to doing what he did in 2009 when Steve took medical leave. A lot of people freak out when this kind of thing happens because even though Apple is such a gigantic company, one of the very unique things that they display is that they still have the absolute heart, soul, and dedication of Steve Jobs, and it shows in every product. But the important thing to remember is that when this happened in 2009, Apple continued as a company. They still put out revolutionary products, and things didn't really change.
Yeah.
And so that is absolutely reflected in the fact that, so this announcement was made yesterday, that this was going to happen, and the stock price fell pretty severely. And then today, Tim Cook did the earnings call, where they their sales over the holiday season jumped by 78%, which is always a great number. They have $26 billion in earnings, which overshot everybody's estimates, as it always does. And when he was asked about tablets, he said, you know what, not a big deal. So really, Steve Jobs has taken a sick day, essentially, and nobody should care that much.
But damn it, he's allowed to.
Yeah, he's allowed.
He's
Damn
allowed
it, take a minute to go wander in some fields, Steve. Just take some time off, get a breath of air.
Go do some
and
yoga.
We'll catch you in the long run.
Go.
Steve wants to catch up on the IT crowd, and that's all there is to
Yes.
it.
The new season's on Netflix.
Right. All he wants to do, he's gonna take a week off. He's gonna watch all 4 seasons of the IT crowd, and then he's gonna drink some beers. He's not sick. He's taking a vacation. He's gonna.
You know what? He actually never gets to have time off too. I remember his last vacation. He was in. I think it was like he was in Bermuda or something, and that was when he was in, or that was when the whole like antenna gate was going on. And so he actually had to cancel his vacation short.
See,
fly back, do the press release thing at the Apple corporate, and then he had to fly back to his vacation. Then at that point, it was done.
I remember the big thing was he like kind of sounded surly on the calls and the press the press thing and everything. So it was like that feeling of, you guys got me out of Bermuda for this.
Yeah, right.
Because I mean,
exactly.
It's like the iPhone 4 just launched, so that's crunch time for him and preparation and everything. And then it's like, okay, I got this great break. This is my blow off time. It's like that work up until Christmas we all get every year to find out Christmas got canceled. Okay, his Christmas was canceled. And
he had just got done working 18-hour days for 6 months, launches the product, and then he goes on vacation, and everyone goes, "You can't go on vacation."
Yeah.
This is broke. You have to get back on a plane and be here to save our company. Because the antenna is in a wrong spot, and you knew it.
Everybody's holding it wrong, and you guys show them how to do it.
No. Everyone's holding it like they hold a phone.
Oh, let's not get into this.
You forgot to make a phone.
Oh, God.
Yeah. How do you hold your phone, Chachi?
I don't
like
fist my
this?
phone, Chachi.
Like that? You're good?
I'm just saying.
I don't know about you guys, but this is how I hold my phone.
In order for it to work, you have to hold it like this.
Hold on.
Oh.
I can't see him.
Do you talk on the phone like this? Do you do this
Actually,
with a closed fist? Because that's how you have to do it to get it to drop signal.
Honestly, this is how I use the phone.
Listen, when I was growing up,
so it's not really
listen. When I was growing up, I had a lot of friends that didn't take care of their Nintendos. Okay, like they hold the controllers too tight. They're pressing down on the buttons harder, things that make Mario jump higher, and then you get it, and it just feels like it's gonna fall apart in your hands. Those are the people with these iPhones that are having these problems. Okay.
Yeah. And then the real problem was to wrap the whole thing up. It had nothing to do with how you held it, because it was just detuning an antenna that was misprogrammed and misrepresenting your signal. So the people who were losing reception didn't have any reception to begin with, but the bars on their phone led them to believe that they did.
And that's how we all learn about attenuation.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Walt,
See? I'm right. Steve Jobs needs a vacation.
Oh, yeah, he needs a vacation.
Yeah,
I think we can all agree on.
That's what he's doing.
Let the guy go.
Need a vacation.
Stockholders, leave him the hell alone, and just go with it. You're going to get your iPhone 5s and iPad 2s, and it's going to be grand. Okay,
this is my prediction.
Just don't worry, they're going to screw it up. Okay, because come on, they have years of.
This is my prediction.
What's that?
Steve Jobs refilled the kegerator and moved it into his theater right next to his recliner. And that's where he's going to be for 7 days.
Fair enough.
All right, guys. Well, on that point, I think that's a good place to wrap it here. Tremendous. All right, Walt, thank you very much for joining us this week. I hope you had some fun.
Oh, dude, this is cool. Sorry that I got to go, though.
No problem. We got to wrap the show, get to the next show anyways. It's fine. ForOrchestra.com. Anything else coming up you want to put out to the people?
I'm coming out with Slayer Raining Blood tomorrow, which is going to be awesome.
Wow.
That's tremendous.
So
you gotta
that's
be kidding
cool.
me.
Then I'm doing more like auto-tune the news stuff I'm doing. And we got a couple performances coming up. So, I mean, I guess that's the big story is that I'm launching Slayer tomorrow, so that's going to be pretty
Oh,
cool.
wait, what are you doing with Auto-Tune the News?
Well, so I'm going to arrange some of their, arrangements.
Oh,
No, I'm going to
tremendous.
arrange some of their music for an orchestra. So, imagine, I'm climbing in your window, I'm snatching your people up, arranged for an orchestra. I think that'd be. I think it's going to be kind.
That's awesome.
It's going to be kind of cool.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, Walt Ribeiro, for orchestra.com. And you can come back anytime, man.
Oh, cool, man. And one thing that I just want to say is with the URL, it's actually FOR Orchestra because we arrange pop songs for orchestra. So that's kind of like how I came up with the name. But yeah, dude, thanks a ton. I would love to come, back on and talk more about how I use tons of data.
We'll see if your phone is blown up by then.
You know what, though? He has. It's been a pleasure sitting here discussing this stuff with him because he did not hesitate to just jump right in.
Yeah.
Like, Walt, you seriously, you hopped right into the conversations where a lot of the guests, they kind of hang back and they're a little afraid to join in and be ridiculous
little
with
timid.
us.
Yeah. And that's what it's about here.
So it's been a pleasure.
Jump on Chachi.
Oh, cool! Thanks, man. No, I wanted to jump in more, but I didn't want to take away from your content.
No problem.
I would have talked for the entire hour. Maybe I should host the show next time.
We will do a special edition.
Just joking. Yeah.
All right, man. We'll let you go. I know you got to get out of here.
All right, guys. I'll see you around.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. All right. And Chachi of ChachiSays.net, you have an announcement coming up this week that will.
Yes.
Where can they go to find the announcement and about whereabouts and whenabouts are they going to expect it? Or is that up to me?
No,
that's you.
There's going to be a new website, a temporary website for this thing alone.
Well, hopefully permanent. Hopefully we get to do it a second time. But
yeah, well, I'm not. We're just going to leave it at this time.
Survive
right now.
The first one.
Yeah,
just like Podcamp. Let's just get past this one.
I want to get past this first step. But a huge announcement. It should be Wednesday, Thursday-ish.
Wednesday or Thursday-ish.
Yeah,
I think we're moving your show to Thursday officially.
Yeah, we're moving. First off, we're gonna move Chachi Says the vidcast permanently to later in the week.
Yeah.
So that it's better that way instead of on Mondays.
Yeah. We're rearranging a few things for the editing schedules and everything, and that was just one of the things. So.
And as far as the announcement goes, just get your wallets ready.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Well, you're gonna want to anyhow.
Okay, yeah, exactly. But go basically if they're following you, you're gonna be blasting it out every venue.
Right.
Check out ChachiSays.net at Chachi Says.
Yeah, as soon as I'm able to make a public announcement, you will hear about it in every medium possible. It'll be everywhere if you follow me on anything.
You won't be able to escape it if we have our way in the next
right.
month.
So you're probably going to be sick of me for the next 5 weeks, but I'm sorry. And at the same time, I'm not.
It's all right. It's for the kids. Yeah. And Rob, what's going on with you, man?
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Chachi. Let's see. Thursday is my last day of my current job.
Yes. You gonna see how many more terrorists you can bag before then? You're gonna find a couple members anonymous on the janitorial crew before you're done.
No, I think I've made enough of an impression. So I'll leave that. But I think
De La Cretaz takes the law into his own hands.
Yes, absolutely. I think I'm going to be doing some traveling in the next couple weeks.
Ooh.
Because as with I may have mentioned on last week's show, as with my new job, I am expected to do some traveling, and my boss wants to get me on the road ASAP because the show that I just helped out with went really, really well. So I might be going to Vegas in a few weeks.
Nah, yeah, we'll adjust, of course, for your schedule and everything. But does that mean, hopefully, if it works out, we'll have you coming from exotic locations across the nation?
It would seem that way. As long as I'm available, that might be a thing.
Question.
Yeah.
So, if you go to Vegas, are you allowed to
Yes.
broadcast from Vegas?
Oh, yeah. Well, everybody just did for CES, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Well, because
if we could get FaceTime to work, I could do some crazy stuff.
well, because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So
Unless you broadcast it on the internet.
Yeah, so I mean, if you broadcast it on the internet, then that pretty much negates that rule.
Them's the rules.
You're breaking
true.
the rule.
As you know, there are no cameras in Vegas.
I'm pretty sure you'll get kicked out of Vegas.
Nowhere.
Yes,
Nowhere is
they
there.
strip them from you at the border.
just like a strip club.
Yes.
They take
a lot
your
of stripping going on in Vegas. That's all I'm saying. A lot of stripping.
They take your battery.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'll be doing some traveling and maybe some video casting from faraway places in the future.
That'll be awesome.
He's traveling.
I'll miss you, but that'll still be awesome.
Yeah.
His shirt says, "Please come back, Rob." And of course, I'm over at Sorgatron.com. Check out, we just redesigned SorgatronMedia.com of a sort. Red, we found a really cool theme and started working with that.
Notice it until today.
Thanks a lot, Chachi. I put it up like Sunday night. It's a work in progress. The Justin TV seems to be working tremendously. We're our third week into it. So please join us live, AwesomeCast.com, live.sorgatronmedia.com if you want to join us there. Nice, easy to remember, I hope. URL. And we're here 7 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday nights, usually. And
Tuesday.
Yeah, so we have a schedule. So if we change stuff, or if we have guests coming up that we know in advance, we'll put them on the schedule over there at sorgatronmedia.com. We're working to consolidate all that stuff together, all these shows and everything to one website. If you got anything, any suggestions or anything you like or don't like, please let us know. One place you can let us know is contact@awesomecast.com, where you can chime in on anything about the show, or over at 724-25-ACAST. That's 724-252-2278. And ACAST. I almost want to say something else, but it's close.
You're such an A-cast.
You're such an A-cast.
So
that's what you call a bad podcast. We're like, you're an A-cast.
I didn't swear today.
You didn't swear today. Thank you very much. We just made lewd gestures a little bit, and that's fine.
Can we talk about Target really quick?
Oh, I forgot all about it. Okay, so slip this one under the radar. You had a little bit of experience with this, but then we got to get out of here.
Okay, so dealsplus.us.
Yeah.
It's this thing I follow on Twitter. They post all these amazing sales and stuff all over the internet. On Sunday, was it Sunday?
Yeah, it was Sunday. I was in the grocery store.
On Sunday, they posted a link to a $40 60 gigabyte PS3 from Target, and in parentheses behind it said mistake. So I instantly ran to my computer
because we're used to, Zappos is in the news last year for they messed everything up, and I think nothing. What do you remember this, Rob? Because I know you're a big Zappos user. Like, everything got set to like $20 or something. And they lost like millions on sales and everything, but they still honored all the sales that were made during the website era.
Yeah. Wasn't the Target PS3 thing sold through Amazon though?
No, it was on Target.com.
It was on Target's website.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So I rushed to my computer because at $40, I'm not going to turn down a 60 gig PS3. Right. My whole intention was to get it shipped to me and then sell it. Because I have no interest in owning a PS3.
My Xbox just recently red ring, so I was fully interested in getting something to replace my Netflix and DVD player.
So I ordered the PS3. Mad Mike pointed out that he thought it was for just a controller, which made me question it. So I contacted Target's customer support and was basically berated for 15 minutes straight, saying from the guy saying that there's no way in hell they were honoring that deal, and that it was my fault for thinking that I was getting a PS3 for $40. Now, the part that I find funny is once you clicked on the link and went to Target's website, to this ad, they had a picture of a PS3, the headline said PlayStation 3,
the reviews were for a PlayStation 3. 5 of them, I think.
Said PlayStation 3 Computer Entertainment Center system, 60 gigabytes.
Mm-hmm.
So everything on the page was for a PS3, except for one minor detail. If you went down into the details of the item, it said under description, it said controller.
Wow.
There was a description of I believe it was a PlayStation Move double grip controller.
Right.
That's the only place you saw any indication. There was a paragraph on it, but come on.
Right.
You know, it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck, but there happens to be a pig inside. You better still give me a duck.
Right. That makes absolutely no sense.
I was working off the top of my head.
That's fine. So
the reason that I asked if it was on Amazon, because the story that made national news was the Amazon.com sold by Target for $39.99 because on Amazon.com it is the console.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and it has there was some like hilarious figures next to it, like that sales of it had jumped by 78,000%.
Oh,
maybe,
sure.
Maybe
because...
you know what it is? I bet because actually the checkout was through Amazon. Was it for you?
Yeah, it was for me.
So I'm wondering because a lot of times you go on there and you'll find an item and it'll say sold by so and so and so and so, like in the list like other stores and retailers. Like you can look up wrestling figures and it goes to what was that one that we used to affiliate with? Like Wrestle. Highspots.com or something, or WrestlingFigures.com, so it takes it completely out of the site. But if you ordered that through Amazon, Amazon's going to make sure you get honored.
Well, actually not, because Amazon uses Mechanical Turk for data entry, so they have clauses that basically say if there's any issues with information, they will not honor a price mistake.
All right, but if it was... Okay, but if it was something by Amazon, we'll presume if it was on Amazon and they made a mistake, you'd probably be getting a $40 PS3.
Yeah, well, they won't. I don't think they've ever fully honored a price mistake. They have a habit of giving out gift cards, though.
Yeah.
Like, they would refund you all your money and give you a $10 gift card. That's the most you'll get out of Amazon. They're pretty strict on that.
Oh.
Well, see, I didn't even bother letting the sale go through.
Mm-hmm.
After my conversation with customer service, I was so pissed. I was so upset with the customer service rep at that point that I want nothing to do with anything Target's affiliated with.
That's awful.
Like I was so angry.
That's horrible. That's just horrible customer service. It makes the whole company look bad.
Right.
When you deal with one person like that.
Yeah, screw them.
Know?
Yeah.
Screw them.
I mean, it's like my ordeals with Verizon. Tremendous service as long as you don't have a problem. Because, you know, here's a Verizon Fios. I just downgraded a lot of stuff, got the lowest TV package, I lowered the Fios a little bit, saved myself money, killed my landline, and I found out HBO was added to my account for a full $22.99 a month.
Wow.
That nobody told me about until I was flipped through and was like, oh, look at this, I have HBO. Mad Mike was in from Wrestling Mayhem show visiting. He was flipping through, found a movie on HBO. I'm like, oh, it must be a free weekend. It was like Monday night. I looked on my account, had HBO, $22.99. Not even a promotion. Not even, hey, we'll just give this to you for free, and you won't find out about it for 3 months when you finally get a bill for it. Nope. So, not happy with Verizon. Make sure you get everything and confirm it in writing if you go through Verizon. Love their Fios. Their MiFi with the iPad's pretty cool, you know. Maybe you guys will have some fun with the iPhone over there, you know, the Verizon. The Verizon.
That sounds dirty. All right,
I know, right? All right, well, we're out of here. We got to talk about wrestling. Thank you very much. I'm Sorg. That's Rob. Chachi's on the couch. Bert's been looking at you the whole time, and you're our awesome audience. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks, Walt Ribeiro, for being on.
Peace out.
There's the Imagination, there's the Antichrist. I'm starting right now. This is the anti-Omega Nation right here, okay?
Wrestling Mayhem Show.
God. Podcamp.com.